Anyway, so I'm Mr. Allen. I'm the band director here at George Sanchez. I've been here for 4 years. This is my 4th year going. And welcome to Band Parent Night. My goal with tonight is to answer all of your questions and also raise some questions of things that you might not have thought about yet. But hopefully we'll have everything resolved by the end of tonight. So, one thing, I have this entire thing is being recorded, so for parents who couldn't make it here, or if you have any questions and you want to watch it again later, I'll also have these slides up there so that you can see them. Before we get started, I got a note from Ms. Carrillo. The nurse's office has rapid COVID tests that are going to expire in November, which just means that they can't be used by the health office anymore. So if you want free COVID tests, come into the office. Mr. Rodriguez, when should they do that? You think to go by the nurse's office?
Her name is Justin Ortiz. The button, if you need extra kits, COVID test for free, only contact the front office and Justin Ortiz, the nurse, can deliver it. Guys, it's a lot of bucks there. It's a lot. Yeah. If you want to pay for it, like I did, like a few months ago, $100 in Duran's Pharmacy, and then I found out it's for free here. But again, it's for free. Call if you need it.
Yeah. So there's free COVID testing. Just call, and those are like take-home tests. Just call the front office, and they'll put you through to Ms. Ortiz, or you can just call or email Justine Ortiz directly. Anyway, so a little bit about me. My name is Andrew Allen. I'm the band director here. As I said, I've been a teacher for 5 years. I spent 4 of those years here. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, so I used to not be from New Mexico, but at this point I like to think that I'm a resident now. I eat green chili on everything. So this is my 4th year here. I've taught all levels of school. I've taught elementary, high school, and middle school. And here, I'm very lucky because we have a K-8, and I can teach elementary school a little bit every once in a while, too. So the big question that I'd like to answer is, what does band do for my child? So I could list a lot of things about music in general. For instance, performing music is a lot like a public speaking class where you gain a lot of the skills where you're able to express yourself in front of other people effectively. But going down this, band students must behave in and out of class, and I would like to consider that the model students for the school. This, most of the time, is totally true. My advanced band full of 8th graders are impeccable. And that's really great because they can go and show off in front of other people, perform in public, and the administrators don't have to worry about, oh no, are they going to get caught like throwing trash, on the ground or sneaking off to the bathroom with their best friends or whatever. That doesn't happen. So if you want a great class full of role models, you found it. Next, in band class, we don't just learn music. We learn reading and comprehension. So not only the ability to read, but also to understand what you're reading, as well as algebra. That's something that you don't know, but if you've ever had music, you know it's actually algebra. And as I said, we learn public speaking, performance, and leadership skills. Some of the kids who came into my program and were tiny, little, timid people are over at the Intrinsic Marching Band bossing around people that may be 2 or 3 years older than them now. In a good way. So there's a lot to gain here. Here on the screen you can see some pictures. These are of last year as some of my students performing for the elementary students. Okay, so a little bit about where the GIS band is right now. Last year we performed a music performance assessment, which is essentially like a standardized test for band from the district. It was our first time in the entire history of the school of our 7 or 8 years, Mr. Rodriguez? 7? In our 8-year history, the only time we had ever done so on the first band director to take us, and we scored the second highest in score. We scored 85, 85, 86, and on sight reading, we scored an almost perfect 92. This year, if you are in advanced band, we'll be going as well. I'm looking to take the intermediate band if I can as well. The advanced band hopefully will come back with straight 90s. That's the goal. So at this program, we are definitely not down here. We are up here looking to only get higher. So plans for this year. So this is where we get what the heck is my kid gonna actually do in this class? First of all, you have the opportunity to go to up to 5 field trips. Some of those are limited, but 8th graders especially, you're gonna go on a lot of field trips this year. Free concerts, those are the mandatory thing. 3 performances over at the Etrisco Performing Arts Center, which is right next door. Pep band at volleyball and basketball games, that's an extracurricular thing, where if you show me, hey, I am good at this, and I can behave well, then I'll invite your kids to come to the home basketball and volleyball games, where the stay after school will go and play for those. Just to let you know, we're the only school in the entire district that does that. We're the only middle school. And not only that, but Sherman Middle School, the director told me this year, she was like, my kids keep bothering me about it, so we're doing it now. Thanks a lot. They love it. They really love it. Lastly, 8th graders will get to go to, they'll get to sit in the stands with the Etrisco Heritage Academy Marching Band, which is next door to Marching Band. That will happen, I'm forgetting the date, but it's later in the slideshow. And it's also on the parent packet as well. And lastly, as I said in the previous slide, advanced band will perform for judges at music performance assessment. So we've got a whole bunch of field trips, opportunities for you to do extra, and the minimum is the 3 concerts, which we will talk about in a moment. Next. So field trips, there it is, September 16th, the football game, hang out with the Etrisco Marching Band. That's only 8th grade, just because those are the people who are going to see the high school next year. And if you're like, well, my kid's not going to go to Etrisco, which they most likely will because of the district thing, it's still a great experience to hang out with high schoolers and to get that positive role model of how you're supposed to act in high school. So, continuing, volleyball and basketball games with 3 food nuts for the pep band. So if you run the pep band, which all intermediate and advanced people are already invited to, then you get those games and the food is provided for you by the band, which all the other kids are very jealous about. Next, 6th graders, how many, actually all middle schools, how many of you went to Carlos Rey or Rodolfo Nine? Cool. So, for those students, we will actually we go there every year to go tour, where we just go and we perform for the 5th graders, and it's a great way of getting out in the community. It's our way of reaching out, just because it's ridiculous that we live 5 minutes away from them, but we don't, go perform. So we do. Next, musical performance assessment. We talked about that a couple times. And in March, we don't know the exact date for this, but we'll have basically the same thing as September 16th, except it's just for the pep band kids, where they're invited to go hang out with the Etrisco pep band at a basketball game, which Etrisco's basketball team is like actually pretty good, from what I understand. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay. So, lastly, end of the year field trip. So, during COVID, we couldn't do our end of the year field trip. And I'm trying to make up for that. Last year, we went to the zoo, which was a lot of fun. We were there for like half of the day, of the school day. It was a lot of fun. And this year, just to make it a little more contained, we're going to visit main event. So that's going to be everybody in the band. We'll be going down a field trip. It's covered in your band dues. So we'll talk about the dues in a minute, but that's one of the things that your class fee is going towards. It's the busing and the entrance for that. Okay, so for this part, if you have your cell phone with you, I would ask that you get it out and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Amongst other things, like our concerts and stuff, this will have this recording on it. So that's also a great way for you to go back and look and see what we actually do here. The username is Francis Allen, which is my real name, and the logo is just the school logo, so it's pretty easy to find. All students must use Google Classroom, which is pretty standard. All students will be getting a Chromebook. If those assignments are real assignments, that's where I put everything. And here's one of the neat things, parents. Do you ever find it frustrating where, like, your kid gets a 0 and you're like, how did he get a 0? I don't know, like, why is there a 0? Well, for the playing tests, where the students have to record themselves playing, you can actually go see a video of them completing their test. Which is great because it shows two things. It shows not only when they're not doing what they're supposed to, but when they're growing. And it's really neat because you can see them start the first year going, and then they can end the year playing beautifully, and you get to see the full transition. It's really cool. Lastly, I do not use Class Dojo. You can message me on there. I check it like once a month. But if you need to contact me, I'll have my contact information on here. I don't use Class Dojo just because I use these two things, and it will be too complicated. Oh, neat. Okay, so this is the band website, which I have links to on my classroom and on the YouTube page. So on the front page is an outdated newsletter, and I apologize for that. But then you have the band handbook, as well as the letters from Albuquerque Public Schools explaining why we're in Class B, as well as some resources for the kids if they need them. At the top, I have options for recordings, so if you want to go back and see any of your kids' performances from here, or even better, photographs. I really like keeping a scrapbook, so I have photos going back 4 years of all the things that you can expect kids to do this year. And it's pretty cool for kids who've been here multiple years because you get to go back and see all of the things that we've done and all the concerts we've done in previous years. Those of you who were here last year, we had the beginning band concert in the cafeteria. Not doing that again. It's over the performing arts. So now that I've tried to show you the worth of this program, now I'm going to ask for your investment. So APS allows classes, music classes to ask for a class fee. Now this is something that every program in the district, almost all the programs in the district do. And just this year, I increased the band dues from $10 to $20. And you can see the map at the bottom of the screen. This goes towards t-shirts, field trips, food, and music. I have to pay for the rest of the things that we play. And on average, the band spends about $50 to $60 per student. And I'm asking for 20. And I will spend that much on just buses and food across the entire year. So I guarantee you, this will be a sound investment. Another thing, if I ever tell you something or ask for something and you're like, I can't do that, I cannot pay this right now, I've got a mortgage to pay, then I understand. All you need to do is email me and say, hey, we need some help on this. When I was a kid, I didn't have air conditioning in my house, our parents' car didn't work, like, I understand. So just let me know if there are any issues, and we can either put something off, or I can work to excuse it entirely. Anyway, continue. Okay, here's the other big question. Mr. Allen, how the heck do I get an instrument? So you have three options. The best option is, I'll go from left to right. A good option is to go rent it from Bombs Music, which I have flyers from here. There are other music stores in the city. I recommend this one because it is the one I have the least trouble with. Every other music store gives me trouble. And I would not say that if they had not given me trouble in the last year. I'm not saying this from many years ago, I'm saying it from the last few months. So Bombs Music, I'll have flyers for it. They do about $30 a month per instrument. They give you really good instruments, and if you break them, you take them back and they give you a new one. Literally the only thing you can do that will get you in trouble is if you just straight up lose it, which I have only once had to get lose an instrument in my 4 years ago. Continuing, buying. This is some of the times the best option, some of the times the worst option. You can get a new instrument for a beginner from about $100 to $300 on Amazon. Those are tracks. Do not buy those. You want to buy, I would recommend buying a used instrument from eBay, Facebook Marketplace, probably not a pawn shop in town. None of them do a good job anymore. They've gotten worse over the last couple of years. But all you have to do is send me an email with a picture and say, hey, is this a good deal? And I will say yes or I will say no. You can get really good stuff that way. It's, as you would think, it's risk. The best way is from the school. I have lots of instruments. They are on a first-come, first-served basis. And to rent an instrument is a $10 one-time fee. So you pay me once at the beginning of the year, and that just pays for me to get it cleaned at the end of the year. If you can't afford any of these options, again, please contact me. Please contact me. Okay. So, supplies and materials. By the way, all of the information I've gone over is in that handbook. At least most of it is in that handbook, especially this part. So, for all students, they will need that red book with their instrument on it. So if you play flute, you get that one. If you play trumpet, you get that one, but with a trumpet on it. Woodwind instruments, that's saxophones and clarinets, will need reeds and cork grease. Brass instruments will need valve oil and slide grease. And percussion instruments will need sticks and a practice pad. I will not make you buy a drum. If your kid tells you to buy you a drum, it is not my fault. Don't listen to them. They're lying. So again, this is in the handbook. Yes. So on some of these, I keep a class set of these books, but your child will be a little behind everybody else if they have to go after that one because they can't take my class at home. The reeds and cork grease. Reeds are kind of an expendable thing where you will consume them. Like, they'll get used out after a while. The cork grease, you'll buy 1 tube of that, and that will last you for like 5 years. Valve oil and slide grease is the same thing. If you buy 1 tube of that, it will last you for the rest of your time in band. And then sticks and a pad, those should cost you $20 together maximum. Like, that should be a pretty cheap instrument to put together. Again, if you are concerned about the cost of this, please come and talk to me, and I will help you find the best solution for you. Okay. Now, this is a new slide because things happened last year. I had a teacher who had been doing pictures all year for us. She brought her camera and did photography. And then on the final concert, we had like a thing scheduled to take a photograph, and she didn't come. And so I don't have a photo of I don't have any photos of my last concert, which sucks because some of those kids went on high school, and they don't have any photos of it. So, this is where I really need help. Normally, I do all these jobs. I do. And the only one, I would say the only one I don't do every time is getting pizza for the pet band. But a lot of these are like 3 times a year that I need somebody's help. And they're relatively simple. The big thing is just I need parents to volunteer for these. Because we have a really cool, successful program because of all these things. But I can't keep doing them forever because it really, it's taxing, and I really need assistance. So the 7 positions that I need help with, and I've already something on step board, but I could use, whoever, videographer who has to do what I asked Mr. Rodriguez to do. You just go there, you set up the camera at the back of the auditorium and press the play button, and that's it. I provide all the equipment. All I need is for a parent who's willing to do that. And when it says record video and audio, it's set up one thing there, one thing here, and press play on both of them, and then that's it for the concert. And that's for concert. Concert chaperone. I need somebody who can stay backstage and tell the kids to shut up and sit down, which I hate to be rude, but parents, you know what I'm talking about. They get real wired. So I just need parent to facilitate that. I can have multiple parents for that, just whoever would be willing to. You would still be able to see the concert. This is just beforehand, getting back there, getting them to sit down, and keep their hands off of each other. Usher, this would be, you would manage the lobby, you would go in and you would stand at the door and say that people can't come in until they're supposed to come in, and then you hand out flyers, hand out the program. And when it says turn off the audience lights, it's one button. You just press one button. Equipment carrier. I just need someone with a truck, because normally I take my little hatchback and I jam a bunch of tubas in it and drive it over to a Trisco, which doesn't really work. So if you have a truck and you have availability on 4 concert days, that's all I need throughout the entire year. That would be pet band helper. This one's a bit more expensive. If your kid is probably going to be in pet band, this would be great. I just need someone to go pick up food because places don't deliver to the school. So the food is already paid for. I just need someone to pick it up and drop it here at the school. Photographer. This one is a bit more expensive, but basically, if you are a photographer, that would be great. If you're not a photographer, I just need someone who's willing to spend the concert on their cell phone, or once I do get a camera, just to take pictures. Because we need somebody dedicated to that. Lastly, stage manager. This one sounds more complicated than it is. I just need someone who can come on stage with me, because my arms are generally really full of stuff, and just hand out papers, call out students' names, things like that. And that's 3 concerts. So this is all stuff that I've been doing for years, but I really need help, because the band's getting bigger and bigger more stuff, and this will really help out. So if you're interested in any of those, you can contact me, or you can just come up and talk